Right, did you know that you can actually find out those people that stalk you or view your profile the most just by, looking at your Instagram stories? Well, I'm gonna tell you all the updates about this and some other stuff after this intro. Right, welcome back people. My name's Dominik. In case you didn't know, I usually talk about social media stuff. In the future we'll get a little bit more into the content creation side and more in the business side, like you requested. Some requested some MySpace tutorials, which we might actually do. Right, so in case you didn't know, you actually don't need to have that big of a following to generate some income through your social media channels, specifically from Instagram, YouTube as well. But we're gonna talk about all these things in my other future videos. Today, we're actually talking about how to find out your stalkers. And I will give you my update and my findings on how to actually really identify those people. But before we get into all of that, I will give you an update what happened in the last couple of days. If you're not interested in that, if you're just here for the stalkers, I'll probably link it in the description so you can skip right forward to it. If you didn't know, I run a social media marketing agency specifically focused on Instagram marketing, and we recently got this cool office, penthouse office in the middle of one of the busiest streets in Vienna, and it was actually kind of great. So what we wanted to do is we wanted to throw a party for all of our business partners, friends, and stuff like that. And naturally, some people heard about that, especially on my Instagram story, and people said, alright, why don't you film this whole thing? Why don't you vlog? And I was like, sure man, I'll vlog this thing. Here's the thing, people. I actually have no idea how to vlog. Turns out it's not as easy as I thought. It's actually kind of awkward sometimes, and it's actually kind of hard to find a story, and actually kind of hard to what do you actually film? How do you find a story for people to be actually interested in that? I might probably do a future video on how to vlog if I figure that out anytime. So I wanted to film the people that were there. I wanted to film the nice view, the sunset in our rooftop terrace and all of that. I only filmed a couple of things, partly because we had some drinks, partly because I was occupied talking to some people, because that's what you should do in a party. So the only thing that I filmed from this party, and the only things that you can see, for those of you who are interested, is I had to prepare food for a couple of hours. I have to make these things, but it's just too good, people. Don't tell anyone. Right, so here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen. We're just preparing food, and it was a hassle to get the kiwis going, but here's the thing. With a little bit of thinking, you take the kiwi and take a spoon, people. And then that's what you do. Here. You take it with the spoon. It's like made for a kiwi to be. Look at this beautiful food. Look at this kiwi. She's great. Look at this. Look at this. It's like it was natural. Look at this. It was picked from the tree. They're all gone. The other things that I filmed was a kiss from a guy. At all. A guy with his new watch. Look at this watch. He just. What the fuck? Where do you got that from? And another guy with the same watch, incidentally. He's from where?
From Saxony, in Germany.
Saxony.
Oh,
actually sounds pretty interesting.
Never say that.
And that was pretty much it. I'm sorry if that was actually pretty boring, because thinking about that video beforehand, it kind of sounded a little bit more exciting. But let's get into the stalkers on Instagram 2.0. So first of all, in case you didn't know, or in case you didn't watch my other video, which was all about the same topic about finding your stalkers through your Instagram stories, you should know that the list of your story views actually tells you who views your profile the most. But in this video, and it's been I think 3 months, things kind of have changed, or at least I kind of figured out a little bit more about that topic. Right, so first of all, if you only have up until 100 views on your story, you can never tell, because Instagram is always an ongoing process. It never changes from one point to another. They always test out things, then they change things. You can never tell. But if you have about up until 100 story views, these things are not true that I'm about to tell you. If you have about 100 story views, the lists that you see on your stories are, chronological. First come, first serve. The first people that view your story are the first people that appear on your list, or the last. I think it's the last, actually. If you're one of those, close this video, or watch another video actually from me here. And if you have more than 100 story views, and this is where it gets interesting. If you have more than 100 story views, it really depends on the actions that you took with those profiles. For example, usually the ones at the very top, for example, the first 1, first 3, first 5, depends on how many people you regularly interact with, are the ones that you actually stalk or regularly interact with. For example, there are 2 people that you constantly, DM, that you comment, that, there's a back and forth interaction going on between you. Those are the people that are usually on top of your list. The reason behind that is Instagram wants you to stay on the platform, of course, always. And, if you see those people that they think you care about the most are on the top, that's usually what you care about the most. And especially if you have hundreds and hundreds of story views, you just lose track of all the people. You can't go through all of them all the time anymore. So by that, the people that you talk to the most are on top of your list. The next ones, after those ones, usually the ones that you have never checked out or rarely check out, sometimes maybe like, but not that. The next ones are, in my opinion, the ones that view your profile the most. Your stalkers, if you will. But don't get fooled, there might be one of those people that maybe you recently just replied to a story, then they will be much higher up again, maybe even on the first one. So always think about it. If you look at your list, did I do anything to interact with those people? If yes, they might not be your stalkers. Sorry, pal. So here's the big question that I get asked a lot, but how can you figure out your crush? First of all, please, why don't you just talk to him or to her? So usually if you have a crush, you check out their profile a lot. Right. That means if you check out their profile a lot, for example, meaning that you are actually stalking them, they will still appear on top of your list. So kind of defeats the purpose of finding out your stalkers. The thing that you want to do to find out your crush, I feel like I'm a dating doctor, which by the way I was. I used to have a Tinder dating consulting thing, whatever. I'm not here to talk about that. Forgot where I was, man. Where was I? Oh yeah, if you really want to figure out your crush, all you have to do is, steer away from interacting with anyone on Instagram. Only put up stories for a week straight. So you put up stories for a week straight, you never reply to anyone's story, you never view a profile, maybe you don't even, like other pictures. That way, after a week, after a couple of days, you'll notice, okay, people on top of your list. And of course, naturally, because you don't interact with anyone, or you didn't interact with anyone that's, on your list, those people are the ones that check out your profile. So if there is in the first couple of people that appear on your list is your crush, you know what's going on, you know what you gotta do, man. That being said, again, for the people that still don't get it, if you stalk people, they will still appear on top of your list. But then again, why bother? I hope I could shed some light into that. If you have questions, just throw them down below. By the way, for all of you people that watched my other video, did you actually talk to your crush after, figuring out that they might, be into you as well? Let me know in the comments. Right, so this has been it, people. Thanks for watching. My name is Dominic. Usually all about social media, ranging from all over the place. Thanks for watching. I'll probably see you tomorrow. And this has been it. Follow me on Instagram, by the way. Bye-bye.